Hello everybody, welcome back to Dreamathon 2022, a marathon showcasing unique variety of speedruns with awesome speedrunners. We actually have a special guest appearance. Ozmourn wasn't supposed to be here, but he's actually going to be running 2 games for us, the first one being Stonefly. I cannot wait to see this, and I hope you all are super excited. And with that, Ozmourn, if you would like to take over and introduce yourself, I wish you the best on the run.
Oh my god, this is also a surprise for me. I did not know that you were going to be hosting this. This is amazing.
I'm happy to be here.
Especially, yeah, that's quite a surprise. Song and I share a lot of different communities, and we met at a different event before where we were like back to back to each other, and it was absolutely amazing. And I'm glad to be here. As you can see, I'm just in the middle of practicing some movement for a specific level, but that's not what we're here to do today. We need to delete this file. It's our most recent run. I'm gonna delete this file too, just because I feel like it. But right here, also free to chime in whenever you feel like, Song. I'm usually here with another person, but this is a backup, and it's an hour long, so feel free to just chime in and speak whenever you want. And with that, this is Stonefly. I'm so glad to be here. I was originally supposed to do this 2 days ago, primarily but like we tried to reschedule and it just didn't work out. Too much stuff in my life was happening at once for me to like give a good performance in this. But you know, today is a better day. Today is a different day, and I'm so glad to be showing off Stonefly. And it's a really nice indie game. It's a really cozy indie game, so if you're looking for some cozy late night content, this is going to be pretty up your alley. But we're going to start once we timing will begin once we hit the file here. But I do have some notes on my other monitor that I'm going to be looking at pretty periodically, only because there's a lot to remember in this game, and so it's a lot of it is like resource management, and so we need to just make sure that we have everything that we need. But with that being said, unless Song has anything that needs to be said, I'm ready to go.
I'm all good. I'm excited to see this.
All right,
I'm sitting here waiting for it.
you want to count me down, Song?
Yeah, no problem. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so on go, we'll start the timer. And 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, Ozmourn. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you. Okay, so right off the bat, we're playing as this girl named Annika. She has a very good relationship with her father, as we can see here. We're just helping her prepare her father's mech here, or one of the several mechs that we have. The mechs are kind of like the mode of transportation in this universe, and they're also like very rare because like a lot of, or not rare, very like very important in the culture of this universe. Essentially, a lot of people put a lot of pride into their mechs. A lot of adventurers use mechs for treasure hunting, and so that's just going to be the primary mode of transportation that we use throughout the majority of the run. And right here, we're just going to go to sleep, skip this cutscene, and we're going to go out and pilot our father's mech. This is the tutorial section called Krissa. And what we're doing here is I'm spamming the right bumper in order to perform the blink ability. It just allows you to quickly dash forward, like kind of like a blink in a sense. And so right here, you can like hold left bumper in order to mine stuff. And I'm gonna be like lowering myself to the ground using like the A button like that in order to get down and try and mine some stuff. Right here, the camera likes to do that funky thing because it thinks that we're supposed to be on the branch, but we like to, you know, just mess with it a little bit. But right here...
So what is the resource gathering for?
The resource gathering is because, well, first off, in this first tutorial section, you need around 3,000 lima dot to 3,000 lima dot to finish, but we want to get around 3,400 because of this resource gathering later. The primary reason for resource gathering is to complete certain side missions and also to upgrade our mech. And we're gonna get a lot of different upgrades that are A, required, and B, just make us go faster. And I do have those written down here in my other tab that I'll have to go through. But for this tutorial section, we need to just get through with at least 3,400 lima dot of these green minerals here. And what I'm doing right now is called an encounter. An encounter, you get all these little bugs, and you're just gonna top them over and push them off the ledge. You only need to get rid of all the hostile enemies, those tiny bugs that we were fighting beforehand. This is the only section of the run in which they're considered a hostile enemy, primarily because they're just trying to show you all the different mechanics of this run. We're going to skip these mine deposits here, and we're going to go straight to our second encounter. As we can see, these guys are called the popcorn bugs because they're shaped like tiny little popcorns. And these are like essentially like the weakest enemy that will always be considered hostile, and so they're pretty easy to deal with. They do pretty minimal damage if they attack you, and essentially the only reason that they're called hostile is because like they will go physically out of their way to attack you. But there are certain exceptions to like what's considered hostile in a lot of cases that we'll go into once those times arrive. Taking it a little bit safer, like just during marathon runs, I don't like to play it too risky when it comes to how long I'm spending on the mineral deposits here. But you also want to make sure that you're not leaving the mineral deposits alone for too long, because if you leave them alone for too long, exposed, with all the minerals exposed, the bugs will actually start eating the minerals, and they can you'll just lose all the minerals that you could have had. So right here we got okay RNG. We had 6 popcorn bugs just spawn in the middle of this leaf here, and a giant popcorn bug right here. So usually the best RNG is if all 6 popcorn bugs spawn on the same side of the leaf, but right on the same side of the leaf, but right here we saw them that one of them spawned like on the right side, one that spawned on the left. There are 3 different areas that they can spawn in this particular section, and if they spawn on all 3, then that's just like the worst RNG you can have. Right here we have lima dot. We're just gonna dig up these last few mineral deposits. If you are noticing, the bugs are in fact eating the minerals if you're not paying attention to them. But that is the tutorial section. That is Krissa. We're gonna skip some cutscenes here, and if I'm good and just move to the left as I'm trying to skip this cutscene, we can okay, you can actually move Krissa during that cutscene, during that small little transition, and she might you might be able to start outside of the door when you finally gain control of her, but I did not unfortunately do that. I didn't angle my joystick correctly. But right here, hippity hoppity, this grasshopper has velocity. We're just using the grasshopper to hop through this section right here. This grasshopper's name is Kevin, not canonically, but it is in my heart. And that's really all I have to say about Grasshopper, because we just use the Grasshopper to hop our way through here. And at the top of this tree trunk, we are going to meet our entourage for the rest of the game. Ravenwood, Draven, and also Tulip. And no, wait, Ravenwood, Tulip, and also Clara. Draven is called Draven and Tulip as well. So it's Ravenwood, Tulip, and Clara that I'm going to be referring to them as. And right here, we're going to be using one of their mechs, and we're going to get rid of all of these are the boom bugs. We're actually not going to collect any minerals here, because no matter how much you collect, you will always end this fight with like a set amount of minerals. So there's just no point in like grabbing them. And as you can see in the top left corner, as I okay, as you can see in the top of the corner, there's a repair button, and when I take damage, I can repair. There's a cooldown on the repair, and you can probably see on the boom bugs, using this like breeze ability that I have here in order to blow the bugs off of the stump. I'm also using that breeze ability to open the wings of the boom bugs, because they can only take damage if their wings are open. And right here, we're just waiting for this cutscene to end. Before this cutscene actually starts, we're gonna go and sell this buy a keyhole clamp from Clara in order to upgrade to something later. But other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. Hold up. But I just needed to pause real quick in order to tab out and open my notes here because I accidentally had them covered. But a little bit of time lost, but it's for the greater good. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this cutscene to end. Song, if you want to say anything.
I'm really enjoying this game. The artwork, like just the simple complexity in the movement looks so fun.
Right?
I'm shocked I have actually never played this game.
Oh yeah.
I'm shocked nobody talks about this game. It just looks like such a unique experience compared to everything else that I see on the market all the time.
Oh, 100%. What else? Okay, I need to buy the jump design and the brake design for this new mech that we're going to be getting. The brake design allows us to shoot a small explosive in the ground that will damage enemies, but we rarely ever use it in the run, so but we need to buy it because it's required. The jump design just allows us to jump and do basic movement. But we're gonna have a little dream here sequence, and we're gonna wake up. But you're right, this game is so underrated and so not talked about, even in casual spaces. I am one of 2 people in the entire world that speedrun this game, and the other person, Roadkill Revenge, she was like a huge advocate for this game, and she was just like, oh, finally someone else gets to speedrun it. And I'm like, yeah, it's a really good game, it's a really good speedrun, and it's so much different from what I usually speedrun. But right here we're in the Nightlight Briar, and we need to collect 2,000 Lauronite and 150 Dalium. The Lauronite are these like blue minerals that I'm collecting right here, bluish tealish minerals. Trying not to interact with enemies right now because interacting with enemies wastes time. Like, we don't need to fight these enemies to progress, and like all they really do is just become a nuisance for us when we try to collect the minerals. And wow, okay, I'm just gonna get extra Lauronite here. I'm gonna see if I can leave here with 3,000 so I don't have to collect more later. But like, I need Dalium. Dalium is like this black mineral, and would like to leave here with at least 150, but it doesn't really look like that's gonna happen, because the only Dalium left after this section is here near the shoemaker's shop. We're currently looking for the shoemaker because we saw like our father's mech was stolen, and we saw footprints there, and so we want to go to the shoemaker in order to see if the shoemaker has like made shoes that fit the footprints of this person that we're trying to look for. But these are the long snoot guys. I actually forgot their official name. I'm just gonna call them the long snooty boys. And they will shoot like projectiles at you from their noses. As you can see, Dalium comes in like very low amounts, and they mine pretty slowly, and so we need when you get like a large amount in a specific spot, it helps a lot. Right here we're going to unlock the fast travel location for Nightlight Village because we're going to come back to it later, but we're not going to go to it. While this cutscene is playing out though, I'm going to try and like, you can move around during this cutscene and it'll still play out in the bottom left corner. And I'm just gonna try and see if I can get any other Dalium deposits anywhere. I mean, there's little tiny bits of Dalium here. But we meet Henry, who is the Nightlight Spire assistant, and unfortunately there's no other Dalium deposits, so we're just gonna have to find extra Dalium here. There's a lot of Lauronite, but I don't really need the Lauronite right now. But I want to leave Genson Trail, which is where we're gonna find the actual shoemaker. I want to leave it with around 8,000, but like Genson Trail is notorious for having copious amounts of Lauronite, and so we're just gonna try and, oh my god, oh my god, we're having really bad RNG with these enemies here. This encounter technically is skippable, but we do need it in order to like get some of this Lauronite, because this is just an easy Lauronite deposit that's like not RNG dependent at all. There will always be Lauronite here, and so I just got really bad RNG there. Sometimes the game likes to give me like 4 enemies or 3, and that time it gave me like 8, which was disgusting. I don't need more Lauronite. Shut up. Give me Dalium, please. There we go. Thank you.
We got good RNG when you drop by, but you're not getting good RNG with your drops.
Exactly. Oh, no. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So, yeah, as you can see, Dalium is slightly rare, but there are certain locations in which it's easy to back them up. right here, I'm just going to grab the Dalium. We're currently in an encounter, but this encounter is skippable because for whatever reason, the checkpoint is right here, and you can just reset the checkpoint by exiting the game and entering the file again, and then you're at the checkpoint and you don't need to do the encounter, which is fun. Because the less combat that we have to do, the faster we're going to be going. So after this section is the final encounter of Gensen Trail, which is at the top of this trunk. It introduces like one of the most annoying enemies in this game, the Speedy Boys. That is not the canonical name, but you know, I'm a good speedrunner that forgets the canonical names of the enemies that they fight. And oh, okay, if you're lucky, that'll happen where they will just like fall off the edge. That's why you like to like stay at the edge here. But I try to bait them by like just sticking to the corner. Up, 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 up. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's good. Stay right here. Thank you. Okay, that guy only has 1 hit point left, so we can just... Is that all of them? Dang, that's all. That was quick. That was like one of the faster fights I've ever had. And so right here, we're just gonna be collecting all of this Lauronite to this section. And the reason that I'm collecting it now, I can technically collect this a bit later, but the reason I'm collecting it now is, like I said before, if I leave and come back, all of the Lauronite will probably have been eaten by these tiny bugs that are on the floor. You can probably hear their like little chewing sounds on the minerals here. But right here, I'm going to go to the top of this branch to go talk to the shoemaker. And I'm actually just gonna trigger this cutscene and then leave. Excuse me, because I want to go back to the stump that I was just in. And this is like a common theme that you're gonna see throughout like all of the game, where it's just like you will almost always have free movement during cutscenes, and so you need to use the time in order to like just go search for other things while the cutscene is happening. And which is a very useful thing. But right here, there's copious amounts of Dalium. We want to leave Gensen Trail with 500. We're not going to get 500. We're going to get 400 if we're lucky. 411, we're low, but like there's other places we can get it. I'm just going to have to get extra on the alpha, which I will explain what an alpha is later. When we have to encounter. Okay, so alphas. Right here, we're going to buy a pressure mold. We're gonna buy 3 neutron epoxies, and then we're gonna buy 1 hardened crystal, and then you're gonna sell all of our valuable stuff in order to like get more stuff. And so right here, we're just gonna do the dash design and mining speed level 1. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And then we're gonna go back to Nightlight Village, which was the fast travel location that we're doing. The menuing that I'm gonna be doing, I'm sorry, is going to be slow because I have not like practiced this game in quite some time. the gameplay itself is going to be fine, but the menuing is going to be visibly slow. But right here, okay, Dalium, please give me more Dalium, because we just used a lot of our Daliums to buy all of all those hardened crystals and stuff, and so I just want all this Dalium. I do not care about the Lauronite like whatsoever, but I'm just gonna get like the exposed ones just for fun, because you know, the more minerals you have, the better. But right here in this section, I'm just going to be grabbing as many minerals as I can while I walk by. I'm hoping that I get some good RNG on the alpha, and the reason that I say that is because the alpha has copious amounts of minerals, but it also has like copious amounts of enemies, and so to get the alpha on here, get the alpha with good RNG would be great. But right here, we're just going to be going to the top of this branch in order to discover the Blue Spruce Trailhead, and then we have a cutscene that tells us it's too cold for us to do this. And then after that, for some reason, you can skip this cutscene after that, even though you can't skip like any other dialogue you have with these people. We're going to go back to the Blue Spruce Trailhead, and then we're going to try and... Okay, hold up. I'm going to purposely lose time here because maybe I should share my screen so Song doesn't have delay. This is professional. We are a professional marathon here. But right here, essentially what I'm looking for are these black markings on this branch right here. These are called the alpha tracks. you can only travel to an alpha if you have enough alpha tracks in order to, of course, track them. And as you can see here, the game is also being really bad RNG, because usually I only need 2, and now it's giving me 3. But every time I restart the game, there is a, I don't know what the exact percentage of a alpha track appearing where I just collected and be, but quite clearly the game does not want me to be fast today. Okay, that's like 4 times in a row that has been given to me. 5? 5th time is a charm. We love to see it. Okay, great. Now we can visit the camp. We can go back. We can go to the alpha. Boom. There we go. Okay. So this is an alpha. This is the Briar Alpha specifically. Right here, we're going to try and grab at least 13,334 Laurinite. Those are very specific numbers, I know. We want at least 600 Dalium, which is like the easy thing, which is like why I'm hoping.
An oddly specific number.
An oddly specific number, but it's in the notes, and so we have it for a reason. We also have introduced to a new mineral called Dynatite, and so we want at least 2,000 of these. But right here, is everything good?
Yeah, it looks like everything. It looks like we're back up at the port. That's reactivate your stream.
Okay, my Wi-Fi must have just crashed there for a bit, or my internet must have just crashed there for a bit. That's fine.
And
So
it looks like you are about back. Just give it just a couple more seconds. I would say that you can start going now.
all right, beautiful. All right. Okay. I'm gonna use the repair feature here. If I can get a second. Okay. Yeah, this also happens where like the wind will knock you down. It's like one of the most annoying things in the world. But we're gonna try and use the rest of our time here on the alpha to just hopefully not die and get as many as we can. When you're stuck in that green goo that you get from one of the enemies, it's just like one of the most annoying things ever, because it like prevents you from flying. Okay, you want at least 600 Dalium. That's the most important thing. Laurinite is like the easiest thing to back up in other areas, and so like I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so but you can hear me through Discord, right?
I can hear you through Discord, yes. And I'm.
Okay.
I think Tor's gonna reset your stream again. We're gonna.
Yeah, I restarted
Go
my
again.
stream. I restarted my stream a second time. Hopefully,
do you want us to give you a second to maybe reset your internet? Do you want us to do like a little intermission for you?
We should be good if it happens like a second. Like restarting my internet would like take too long. It would take too long. But it should be good because I'm using like Ethernet here. Am I? Yeah, I'm using like Ethernet here, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well then, she has your stream pulled up, so whenever you're ready, we can start
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Good luck and thank you again. We do appreciate you being here, Ozmourn.
Thank you guys for having me. It's I apologize for these technical difficulties, but you know, stuff like this happens. I'm gonna keep this slightly open. Okay, so we're just gonna continue. Okay, so the reason I restarted the alpha encounter after having died because I am like very low on Laurinite, which is surprising because I'm almost never low on Laurinite. But the thing about the alpha encounters is that this is not something that I was meant to like introduce until much later in the game, but it's useful now. And so um, whenever you restart the game, any minerals that you collect are still kept. Like the game doesn't like reset your minerals to where it was before. It just keeps the minerals. And I did ask the developer about this, and he did say
Sanity is really fun to watch.
oh, 100%.
Your dodge skills are immaculate, by the way. I just see all these objects flying at you, and you're just like going all over.
Yes, thank you. Okay, come on. Come on. Dying in this section will be faster than letting this encounter run out because you automatically get transported back to base once you die. But once that transition happens, it's still faster to reset the file instead of waiting for that long animation to pass. So after the Briar Alpha, we're going to go to our workstation and we're going to buy the snow shell design. Skip that cutscene. The snow shell design in order to withstand the cold. The pool design because it's required, and the arrow design in order to fly faster. And now we're gonna go to sleep. So, did you know this game has plot? And right now, we are going to this cold section in the mountains. Mountain, it's called. And
Just mountain.
mountain, just mountain. And which is weird because we're in trees and not mountains, but you know that's a thing we can reconsider at some point. And
this bug is so cute.
yeah, it's amazing. Like this little mech that we're in, it's great.
Absolutely adorable.
You can color this mech, but we're obviously coloring it is not fast, and
no, it's a snow bug. Keep it white.
Yeah, it's Snowbug. You're right. And so we're gonna meet up with this guy right here, who does not have a mech, and he says that he's on a journey to find himself. And this is like the only moment in the game where I cannot sympathize with Annika at all, because for whatever reason she's just so confused about the concept of someone going on like a traveling, or going traveling to find themselves. And I'm like, Annika, I don't understand how you don't understand the concept of trying to find yourself. She must be such a secure woman, if that's the case. uh, but we're still trying to find the thief that stole our dad's mech, and so we're looking, and the shoemaker managed to find to lead us in this direction, in which we believe our thief is, and we just run into this lovely man who gives us directions. We don't need directions because you know we're speedrunners and we know what we're doing. And I like to the arrow design, as you can see, I'm getting a little boost by pressing the B button in my speed here. Every time I do like a little dip downwards and I get boosted forward. And I also, if I hold down the right bumper after having dashed, I can like glide faster through the air. And so the arrow design is really helpful with that.
Is jumping still faster than all of those movements, or do you do those for reasons at certain points?
The jumping is just like faster when you're like on the ground, but objectively it is faster to just fly and use the arrow design the entire time. And you're gonna see a really good example of that later. Um,
Ooh, can't wait.
yeah. Oh,
This also looks like me waking up for work on Monday.
I accidentally pressed I accidentally pressed rest instead of wake up. So we gotta restart because otherwise we gotta go through the um whole animation. Without Clara, okay, you can't buy anything, but we don't need Clara right now because we're going to this next session, the thief, which is the canopy. And so the game likes to give us a lot of previews as to what we bought, even though we already know how to use them. Um, and right here for the thief, we want to try and get at least 6,334 Laurenites. We want at least 600 Dalium. No, we want at least 850 Dalium. We want at least 2,000 Dynatite, which is what we already have, so we don't need to focus on that. And we want at least 4,000 Limedot, which should be easy because we got a hefty amount in the tutorial section. Okay, there we go. Okay, these are annoying enemies to deal with. I just want this Limedot, please. Okay, the popcorn bugs are like probably the most like angry ones you have to worry about. We're also going to collect these alpha tracks so that we might not have to collect them later. I forgot to check for alpha tracks at the beginning of the level, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that. Okay, Limedot here. Popcorn bug, shut up. Okay, 4,000, and oh, the Dalium is good. 850 Dalium, perfect. We have all the minerals that we desire at this given point in time. I almost never have that happen, which is great. But right here, we're just going to go discover this, and then we're going to go to Bull's Hollow, where we get to skip like every single encounter except for the final one, which is required. And right here, we're gonna show really good examples of what's giving encounters. So as long as you never touch like the trigger point of an encounter, you never have to go around it. And as you can see, I went like upwards and then down in order to, because the hitbox for this encounter is circular, and so I just don't need to worry about that encounter anymore. Get this checkpoint.
My depth perception just failed me, and I thought you were gonna miss that branch for a second. The
No
way
way.
that looked.
No worries. And right here we're gonna do another avoiding encounter by okay, we're going to jump over. I want height, please. I want height. Thank you. Height, because this won't work if I don't have height. Great, perfect. So we're actually going to jump over. The encounter is on that branch that we just passed over, and we can physically go over the hitbox for this encounter. And then we're going to go around another encounter hitbox by coming onto this leaf. Again, height, please. Work with me here. I love getting stuck in branches. And we're going to just go on this leaf and on that leaf, and then go around. Perfect.
Nice.
And that's how we skip the third encounter of Bull's Hollow. The fourth and last encounter is going to be the reason why Bull's Hollow is called Bull's Hollow. We get to fight the bulls, or the bull bugs, I should say. They're beetles, or bull beetles. Like so. Perfect. They do a lot of damage, but if we're lucky with the enemy behavior, we don't really have to worry about them all that much. You can only damage them when they're in that like red state, right here. And if they're all grouped together like that, you can damage them pretty quickly. And this boom bug right here will also damage them. Will also damage the bulls even if they're not in like a vulnerable state, which is like heaven because you don't actually have to fight this guy for some reason. Right here.
Did you just do it?
That was the whole fight, right there.
What? That was amazing. That
Oh,
was amazing.
Yeah, we just had to knock down those 3 enemies right there, and thankfully, the boom bug that we don't have to fight damaged them while they were not in a vulnerable state, and so that was like really quick. That's actually one of the best fights I've ever had for that section. Okay, so right here we're going to go to Bull's Hollow, and we're going to go to the trading outposts because we want to go over here and trade with. We want to buy one solar coil. And we want to buy 4 rain wire and 4 pebble rivets. Unfortunately, let's see here. Thankfully, we have enough to buy another pebble ribbit, and that is pretty much it. And then we're going to go back to the camp, and we're going to upgrade and get the bubble ability. We're going to grab hold durability level 1, and we're going to grab mining speed level 2. Hold durability level 1 and mining speed level 2 are kind of self-explanatory as to what they do. And right here, we're going to go back to the south section in order to try and find some alpha tracks. We grabbed one set of alpha tracks here, and there's another one right here, thankfully. The bubble ability essentially allows us to make a physical shield around the areas. And as you can see here, if you restart the game too many times, it'll show you like a preview of your abilities for every single time you restart it. Oh my god. So right here we want to, okay, unfortunately the game is also giving me bad RNG because it's making me get 3 alpha tracks instead of 2. There we go, perfect. I'm looking right here and grabbing these alpha tracks, and now we can visit camp and go to the alpha, the canopy alpha outfit. This is going to be pretty good in the sense that it's pretty much like one of the easiest ones. However, the thing that we need to focus on the most is the faunicle, because if you do not get enough faunicle in this section, your run's dead. You cannot back this up, and you need to get enough faunicle here, or else you will need to reset, because it's next to impossible to back this up and not have it be a run killer. And so right here we want at least 1,200 faunicle. I like to get 1,400 just for safe measure. But in reality, you only need 1,200, and you will not need it any of us for the rest of the game. So yeah, that's just the main thing. You get enough faunicle. Make sure that, oh, yep, as you can see, the enemies that were used to be bosses are now just regular enemies now. We love it when games do that. And right here, we just want to grab this faunicle. Oh wait, I have the bubble ability that lets me do a force field. How can I be so forgetful?
Bagel Cat says, Oz, my beloved.
Oz, my beloved. Thank you so much, Bagel Cat. Thank you. She's great. Okay, we have enough faunicle here. I'm glad that Bagel Cat is here in the chat. Limadot.
Welcome in, Bagel Cat. We're glad to have you here.
We want at least 8,634 Limadots, and thankfully that doesn't seem to be a problem here. We want at least 4,005. We want at least 2,400. Please. Okay, thank you. We want at least 2,400 Dynatite, but we want a lot of Limadot. I need to focus on the Limadot here. And the Pyatite, I'm not concerned about at the moment. Okay. I'm going to deal with that amount of Limadot right now. And what we want right here is actually we want to make Clara talk. The reason that we sold the items at the trading outpost and not to Clara is because I want Clara to talk right now before I sell these items to her. There's a 10% chance that a line of dialogue will happen when you talk to Clara every time. And every time you talk to Clara, there needs to be a 2-minute cooldown. And I'm just spamming the B button. I'm going to restart here in case this doesn't work, because like this is a really important skip. This is like a really important skip, and I need Clara to speak, because otherwise we're going to just sit through a cutscene. Please, Clara, speak. I need a line of dialogue to come from you.
So, is there a reason why they did this, to give her one line of dialogue? Is it important?
It is important. Here's the thing. When you interact with Clara, there's a 10% chance that she just says a line of dialogue. And and then for after that, she has like a 2-minute cooldown for when she speaks. And something is going on. Maybe the cooldown isn't over and I messed up or something. But I really want Clara to speak, and the reason being, is because after you sell these items to Clara, a cutscene will happen. And yeah, I think unless Clara, I'm gonna try a little bit more. Unless Clara wants to be really nice to me right now. Nah, it doesn't look like she wants to be. Okay. So I'm just gonna sell the items to Clara. Yeah. So as you can see, after you sell the items to Clara, a cutscene starts, and you are locked into this. You cannot move on to the next section until this cutscene finishes.
And how long is this cutscene?
54 seconds. And which is a lot of time save. And the reason that I wanted Clara to like just say something, just say literally anything before I sold it to her, is because if you sell her the items while she is talking, the cutscene will not start until she is finished talking. And so so in that small like 10-second time span where she's talking, you sell her the items and then immediately go to your mech in order to move on to the next section, because the next area is unlocked the second that you sell her all the items you need. And if you do that successfully, you should be able to skip the cutscene, and instead of being locked into that hub world, the cutscene will instead play out in the bottom left corner of the screen while you're going through this level. And I don't know why. I either had incredibly horrible RNG or I messed up something with the cooldown. I do not like it. There are days where I like grind this and it's like, oh yeah, I get it like every time, and then there's situations like that where I'm just like, I don't know why that didn't work, and like it should have worked. My stream died again. Hold up.
Continue?
I'm ready to continue.
Okay, well, let's give it one moment just to make sure everything is up and proper on the stream. All right, looks like you are good to go. Thank you
Beautiful.
so much again.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. Hopefully this isn't too bad. But here's a really good example of me flying. If I do my timing correctly, you should be able to just boost your entire way through. And this is an example of how flying is objectively the fastest method of travel. I'm skipping pretty much every single encounter. You probably saw me skip one at the very beginning that was more obvious. But you can just, if you get up to a really high branch, you can just fly throughout the rest of the level. And you can, come on, grab these. You only need like one of these minerals in order to continue, and then we're going to go to our workstation. We're going to construct the blue wave core, and then we're going to talk to Clara, and we're in another cutscene, and this time there is no possible way we can skip this cutscene, but I don't know why that cutscene skip didn't work. Again, it's just weird sometimes, but yeah. Song, is there any questions you have? Anything you want to say about this game so far? I apologize for all the stream drops. My internet usually isn't this uncooperative today, but I guess it's just one of those days.
What other categories do you guys have in this game?
It's just any percent. However, we want to we're trying to like branch out and do other stuff with this game. For example, as you can see, we do skip a lot of encounters. And so we're wondering like, oh, what about all encounters, where it's a much more combat heavy like thing. It's like a much more combat heavy category. Right here we're going to be doing the gust design, and then we're going to be doing the blink design, and that's pretty much it. And after this we're going to do the first boss of the game. But our categories are just any percent right now, because again, it's only me and one other person that speedrun this game and that has routed this game and have found stuff for this game at all. And so it's just any percent, but we have been discussing all encounters where you cannot skip any encounters, and funnily enough, you actually have to go out of your way to do certain encounters. And so again, it's just you need to be really refined on your combat in order to have a good time there. And it's going to be much more energy heavy. And then we've also debated 100%, but we haven't really defined what 100% means. For example, like all the mech upgrades or something like that. So right here is the Wind Mantis. The Wind Mantis is our first boss. You do not want to be on the ground when he like does his like smash animation, and he does a lot of damage, and he obviously does that where he just blows the rocks off of the stump. And the only way you can like deal damage towards him is by blowing these rocks into his body. Okay, so far so good. Not too difficult.
Also, the music in this game is absolutely awesome. I'm
right?
really enjoying this.
Nature Boy Flaco is the name of the composer, and he does amazing stuff.
A speedrun needs a good OST because you're gonna hear the music a lot.
Exactly.
And I can definitely jam to this while playing some speedrunning. That's amazing.
Okay. My wings. Okay, my wing. I'm gonna wait until like. I'm gonna try to avoid him until my repair ability comes back up, because as you can see on the top left corner, certain parts of your mech are gonna be more damaged than others. And right there, my wings were damaged, and which means I couldn't fly. But right here, I'm going to just hopefully avoid this. We only need to deal with him a little bit more damage. This is not the best fight I've had, but it's also not the worst. At least I'm not dead, you know. Anything is better than death in this game. Unless when you need to die in order to progress. But, okay, perfect. A rock fell on him, and we can just blow him off the edge, and then boom. And now we just, woo, go all the way down. Oh, I accidentally went on a branch. Go all the way down. Just gonna dive down towards this.
GG.
GG, Wind Mantis. Dive down towards this, and then we're...
The ripple effect when you glide is also a really neat touch.
It
I like
is.
the effect. It gives
really
us some
is.
impact when you're gliding.
It really is, you're right. So now we are in the next area called Noka Basin. Or the meadow. Before this cutscene starts, I'm gonna go see if I can buy 4 alloy droplets from Clara before this cutscene starts.
Agreed, this game does look very cozy, Dream.
It does look very cozy, right? 4 alloy droplets, and we want a photosynthesizer from Clara here as well. Thankfully, we actually already had 1 alloy droplet, so we get to save up on a Limedot there. We might have to go back up the Limedot, but only because we didn't get a lot from the alpha. So we're going to go buy a photosynthesizer right here. And then we're going to repair and do the slow ability and the lift ability. And that is it. The slow ability allows slow down midair, but the lift ability is what's most important. And this is the best song in the game, in my opinion, which is Leaking Light. Okay, I want to grab this. Okay, the Limedots, we're not... Okay, I want at least 4,000 Limedot. So we're not too, like, scarce on that front, but we will need to... we might need to back it up in another place. So right here, the Limedot, if you press L and then Y, you can, that's the lift ability. You can just get lifted up in the air and get more height. And it's going to be pretty important for the rest of the run in order to perform certain skips. Okay, yes, I understand that I have the lift ability game. Thank you. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to use the lift ability. And we're just going to glide, and we want to stay towards the edge. As you can see, there's like unfinished level geometry over here, like where the level geometry cuts off. You can consider this out of bounds. There's not too much bounds that we're going out of, and also none of this really has collision. But right here, we're actually not using the boost ability like this, because every time that you do that, you like lower a little bit in height, and we actually want to stay up high in order to get over that branch that we just went up to. Now we can just boost it out how much we want to. But I just stuck to the right of that entire level, and I skipped a total of like 3 encounters, which is fun. Okay, we want to hit that leaf and use the breeze here. Then a cutscene starts where we can trade minerals with one of Tulip's friends. We got almost everything we need. And now we're going to, yeah, we have enough Phonicle, but we want 4,000 Limedot. We can't sell anything, no, okay. We're just gonna go back to Canopy, and then we're gonna try and back up the Limedot here by going here. Nope, okay, thank you. Yes. Nope. Nope. Okay. Wait, there's one here. Nope. Okay. The game does not wish to give us Limedot right now when we need it. We only need like 500. Is this enough? Question mark? Is it enough? Question mark? Yeah, this is enough. Okay. Perfect. Go back to camp. And then sell it back to Clark. What? It's not enough. I still need 149. Okay, I underestimated how many I need. I think I needed 600 and not 500. And so we're gonna back this up again. This is quite embarrassing, but you know what? It's fine. We deal with these L's in stride. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay. The game does not want to give me Limedot right now. I love it when I'm struggling and the game just wants to make me struggle more. Nope. Nope, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now we can go back to camp. Oh, we almost died there. That was a lot of damage. Oh, we can sell things too. Limedot. Perfect. Okay, now it's time to talk to David. Okay, now here's another cutscene that we need to have play out. So, if there's anything that the lovely host, Song of Soil, would like to say right now, he can.
Oh, what I would like to say, just like everybody else says, RNG heavy. Good on you for even running this type of a game. Like, I can't even imagine how many runs it takes to get that run. The run, right? It is like pretty RNG heavy. But again, a lot of it, I will admit, is has to do with like my just me not having played this in a hot minute. And so I could definitely be reading things a little bit better, because part of the practice is not necessarily like doing precise tricks, but also the more you practice how you react to enemies, the better you are reacting to them. And just me not having played this in a while, unfortunately, is for excuse me. Out of bounds?
Yeah, I am out of bounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the checkered ground for a second. I was like, that looked pretty out of bounds to me.
Yeah, we're currently out of bounds. We're not anymore, but we're gonna go on the tip of this rock, use the lift ability, boom. We're gonna keep to the left here in order to like I didn't make it. Come on, let's go back. There we go. Yeah, there's certain things like that just kind of leak through. Ah, okay. Try this again.
This looks hard because you can't see where you're going.
You can't.
Good job.
But thankfully, we got it. The camera does not like to cooperate during this section. We're going to use the lift ability again. We're going to keep to the left here because we want to avoid an encounter in this section. And thankfully, we did. And this is like the most annoying tree ever, because we get to excuse me. We get to just wide up the tree, but if you accidentally like fall down the tree, you have to climb up the whole thing again, which is like the most annoying thing I've had that happen in a run, and it's like the most annoying thing ever. My PB is 55 minutes. This is not a 55-minute pace run, and I can already tell you that. Barely sub-hour, if anything. But you know what? No! The tree!
You got this. You're gonna save yourself. You got this.
Can I? Hold up. Am I able to? If you consider that saving ourselves, then yeah, I did save ourselves.
Better than falling all the way down the tree.
Better than falling all the way down your tree, you're right. And the thing that's the most annoying about this tree is that the checkpoint is all the way up here.
Oh, you were so close to it and you fell.
Yeah. Oh wait, well, you know what? thankfully it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, and you spawn higher. That's great. I was really close. Okay, perfect. Come on. Oh, I was stuck in such a weird spot there. Okay, you need to wait for that cooldown to happen before you can use the Leaf's wind again. Right here, we're going to use this Leaf's wind, and we're gonna also skip another encounter. We're gonna go to the very tip of this branch right here, and then use the lift ability. No, actually, we don't even need to use the lift ability. We can just go around. Usually, I like to use the lift ability though, only to give us a little bit more height and a little bit more section. But we don't actually need to use it. And so while we skipped that encounter that was on this branch, and we're going to trigger this cutscene, and we're actually going to go back and trigger the encounter while this cutscene is happening, because there's pyatite here that I want to collect, which is the rarest mineral in the game, and we're going to need a lot of it later. But like we essentially just don't need anything else. But right here after this, we're going to buy so we're gonna buy 1 hardened crystal, and then we're gonna go buy the spark design. Excuse me, thank you. The spark design is not helpful in the speedrun. It gives you a little bit more height, but the lift ability already gives us enough height in order to do what we want to do. And so we're going to just be using that for the majority of the run. But it really doesn't matter too very much what the spark ability does. Again, a lot of these abilities are just a lot of the stuff that we mine for, and a lot of the abilities that we buy are just required by the game to progress. There's very few that we get because it's helpful in the speedrun. And right here, we're going to go to the marsh. This is the third act of the game, you can say. We're going to go here, and if we're lucky, we can probably spot some alpha tracks on the way there, because there's a third alpha here that is rich in pyatite, and it's pretty much like the only set, but pyatite is like, again, really slow to mine. Oh, okay, that sometimes happens when you get into like a really weird corner. But right here, we're going to go up, and unluckily so, we have no tracks for the alphas here. We're going to go here, and we're going to collect the Rocky Pass area in order to fast travel to it later. There is thankfully 1 alpha track here. We're going to come over here, and before we travel to Mire Outskirts, we're going to quickly check if there is a alpha track there, and there's not. So now we're going to be going to Mire Outskirts, and this section, there's not a lot to say about it, primarily because we skipped all of the encounters for this section. Again, kind of part of the reason why we were talking about an all encounters category, because like in any percent, you skip so much of the encounters. Like there's so much combat that is skipped in this game. And I guess all encounters is just a really good way of practicing your combat.
Is there a counter for how many encounters there is?
There's not an official counter, like not an in-game counter, but Roadkill Revenge, she does know how many encounters are in the game, and she does know how many we skip. Although I need to reference her on it, because it's been a while since she's told me that information. We're gonna use the lift ability, and we're going to go around here. Go onto this log. Oh, I accidentally triggered the encounter. What? Believe it or not, it is actually still faster to restart this section than do that encounter, because of how long that encounter is. Okay, but it just gives me another moment to practice my movement. But again, there's no like in-game counter for like how many encounters there are. There is just our knowledge of the game itself. And the thing about all encounters is that we're debating on whether or not to there's a post-game section called the arena, which is just like 20 waves of enemies coming at you in an arena style RNG fest. And so we're debating as if all encounters were to be a thing, would that be required for all encounters? Like, it would be like, for the nature of the run, it would kind of be appropriate, because, you know, since it's so combat heavy, in order to end the run with like a very combat heavy thing, even if it's after the game, it would be appropriate. But, and it's technically an encounter. It's like technically an encounter. But we haven't really decided if we want to just end the run when the game ends, or if we want to like extend the run into the post game encounter. Right here, we're going to go to the Marsh Alpha outfit, and we're actually not going to go to the Alpha yet. We're going to go to Rocky Pass, and we're going to go to the right side here in order to talk to an old hermit. And this old hermit is, of course...
I'm an old hermit.
Yes, we love old hermits. We love old hermits in this house. And right here, the hermit's ridge. We're going to talk to this hermit. The hermit lets us know that there's an auction going to be going on later, with some shady adventurers, and you know, we want valuable possessions, and so we are going to try and go raid that auction in order to see. Oh wait, no, wait. So in order to see what they're selling, and we figure out eventually that they are selling a special mech. A mech that has been passed down between adventurers for generations, and we are going to try and see if we can get the mech for ourselves. And so right here, what I'm doing while this cutscene is playing out is I'm actually trying to find pyetites, because if you're really lucky, you can actually find certain deposits for pyetites here, and this is a pretty long cutscene. But even meanwhile that's happening, I'm actually still going to like try and find mineral deposits for other things, because there's just one last section that we need to go and do, or one last thing that we need to buy in order to access the auction. And so, oh, there's mineral deposits here, small mineral deposits, a mineral deposit nonetheless. So there's some lauronite and some limedot. We might need to get stock on more limedot later. Oh, there's tracks, but it doesn't matter because we already have the tracks. Technically, you can finish this cutscene early by dying, but like it's so hard to like find enemies that are going to do enough damage to kill you in the amount of time that it takes for that cutscene to play out. And also, the majority of the time, we are busy looking for other things. But now that this cutscene is over, we're going to go back to camp, and this time, we're going to go to the Alpha. And the only thing that we really care about is the pyetite. Like, we have enough Dalium, and we have enough Faunicle. Like, you don't need Faunicle for the rest of the game. And Dalium is like really easy to come by. We're gonna get a little bit just in case, and like that's it. That's like all we need right there. And so we want this Dalium. As you can see on the bottom left corner of my screen, or the left side of the screen, it is mining so slowly. But that's just the way that pyetite is mined. And so right here, we're going to grab as much as we can, and we're actually going to make use. We need 800 pyetite, and originally in the route, you would do one encounter with the alpha, and then you would go find more tracks, and then you'd go find more tracks, and you'd start another alpha encounter. But I did mention before that there is a little bit of a loophole to that, in which every time that you restart the game, whatever mineral you have collected will stay collected. Like, it won't reset to your last save or whatever. It's just going to be however many you had when you reset. And so right here, we're going to just grab the rest of these pyetites, and around when it gets towards the end, and I hopefully can get like 400 pyetite at least before the encounter ends. I'm gonna collect this pyetite and then go back over to the head here. and then try and collect these. Okay, we have 395. That's pretty good. Now we're gonna quit, reset level, and then wash, rinse, and repeat until we get to 800. As you can see, if you're like pretty lucky and you're good at mining things, and the enemies aren't like really rude to you, you can probably do this in 2 encounters, but the average is like 3. But if you're really good, and if you also like manage to get Pyatite early on, it's very doable in 2 encounters. But doing 3 doesn't waste too much time, comparatively. Let's see if we can get 800 here. We already have 500, which is a good sign. And as you can see, there's like a wheel at the bottom of my screen, and so in order to one thing that we do a lot in this game is if there's like 2 mineral deposits right next to each other, we try to like go back and forth between the 2, because every time that you like switch mineral deposits, that wheel at the bottom of the screen will start to like move faster, and that because it's signifying your maximum mining speed. And so being able to like go back and forth between all these deposits and stuff like that will help improve your maximum mining speed. Okay, not too bad. I'm just gonna be safe and just quit once more in order to get just 200 in this one and not have to like hope that I get 800 before the encounter ends. Perfect. And then this shouldn't be too time consuming since we already have 650 already. Perfect. Okay, try and just dash our way through here and grab this Pyatite. We have 700 now. Yeah, 700. So we only need 100 more. Use the bubble ability. You need to get into the habit of using the bubble ability a lot in order to make sure that you have make sure the enemies aren't interacting with you and aren't messing you up. And again, it's like a free force field, so just use it whenever you need to. In cases like that, my unfortunately the ability didn't reset fast enough, so I'm just mining here. As you can see, there's so many enemies attacking me right now, and it's like the most hectic thing ever. And 800. Okay, now I want to die. Now I want all the enemies to attack me, and I want to get sent back home so that I can move on with my life in the run. Okay, thank you. And quick resets because this cutscene of you waking up takes too long. Spam B to wake up. Then you walk across here. All right, then you go to chat with Clara. We're gonna sell here. We're going to try and do the decoy. We want 1 neutron epoxy. We want 1 neutron epoxy, 1 rain wire, and 1 bark plank. Chat, rain wire, neutron epoxy, and bark plank. We need 250 more Limebadot. This is heartbreaking in every sense of the word, but it's fine because of all of the items that we were low in. The Limebadot is probably the easiest thing that we could have needed to back up. As a matter of fact, this 1 mineral deposit probably has enough. And yeah, okay, we're good now. The game liked to give me good RNG there, thank goodness. It saw that we're nearing the end of the run. It's just like, you know what, fine, we'll put you at, we'll just give it to you. And right here we're going to do the decoy, and after that we're going to go back to Clara, and we're going to sell all 800 Pyatite. This is a lot of spamming here. I don't know if you all can hear my spamming on the mic. Okay, there we go. And now after that we're just gonna buy everything. Like, nothing matters anymore. You do not need any minerals past this point, and so just buy anything that you can. The auction. This is the final level. It's beautiful. We're finally at the auction, and we're going to just go straight to see what they're selling at this auction. The decoy ability is required to go past this section, but you will never need it. We're gonna stick to the left here so we can avoid an encounter. Beautiful. And now we're just gonna be gliding through here. Oh, okay. We got pretty unlucky there, and we had a raindrop hit us in midair. And so when the raindrop hits you, you just fall like that. I was so afraid that I was gonna hit again. So I don't know if there's any last things that you want to ask or you want to say, Song, about this game so far. Now that we're heading into the home stretch here. Or if anyone in chat has nice, or if anyone in chat had any questions about the run, we can ask it now before we go into the final boss.
Is this the developer's only game, or have they made other games?
To my knowledge, this is the only game that Flight School Studios has made.
What a crazy first project. It has been an absolute blast watching this.
It's a beautiful game. It really is. If you're interested, this is on PC, but it's also on Nintendo Switch. So you can... we don't have any Nintendo Switch runners. Both of us run on PC. But you can run on Nintendo Switch too if you want. And again, this is a great game as a speedrun and casually. As you can see here, the mech that they're selling at the auction is the mech that our father had stolen at the beginning of the game. We never found the thief, but like, who could have seen this outcome occurring? Definitely not me. Okay, perfect. And we want to get through this part as quickly as possible. I try to avoid these enemies. Okay, hold up. Okay, we want to tether Krista here. Come on. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, that happens if you let go of Krista. Unfortunately, the enemies attacked us there, and if they attack you, you let go of Krista. And if you let go of Krista for too long, you will have to restart the section. And we were not far enough into the section where it would matter if we had to let go of Krista or not. And so I tried to salvage it, and unfortunately, the game had other plans. And would you believe me if the final boss has an RNG section as well? You probably would. But it's much more RNG than you think it is. Okay. Thankfully, we're here at the Phantom. The Phantom is the final boss. Oh, we gotta sleep. I'm getting too ahead of myself. Forgetting the routes. I'm a professional speedrunner. It's okay. All right.
Well, sleeping isn't very speedy, so I get it. You were just trying to get up and going.
Exactly. No, you're gonna skip this cutscene. Perfect. All right. All right, perfect. We're gonna pilot this mech here and bring it back. We're gonna try and bring it back to our father. Spoiler alert: we do not succeed. And instead, we are going to go and fight the final boss, which is the Dragon Mantis. It's like the Wind Mantis, but stronger. And there, we just gotta glide our way through these branches here first. And boom, the Dragon Mantis. As you can see, the Dragon Mantis does a lot of damage. Much like the Wind Mantis, you don't want to be on the ground when he pounds. He takes a lot less damage than the Wind Mantis does, but you kind of fight him in a similar way. This boss has two phases. Phase 1 is just pretty much the same kind of fight that we did as the Wind Mantis, except the Dragon Mantis likes to fly a lot more. and be a lot less cooperative with me. Come on. There we go. This is a decent fight so far. Okay. Especially since I've like gotten a good amount of chances to deal damage of the Dragon Mantis. And come on. Thank you. Let's try and you can try and get both rocks to take damage into Dragon Mantis at the same time, if you're lucky, and if you're good. Okay. This is pretty good. Pretty decent. Ah. Okay, and so you want to bring him down to like a little under halfway. For like 3/4 health. And then after this is an RNG portion that we try to use to skip phase 2. So essentially what you want is to oh my god. Oh. Did I? Oh, if I had gotten that first try, I would have been so, oh my god. I thought that I had gotten that first try. Okay, so essentially what happens is that you want the mantis to come over here and fly. And once the mantis flies, you kind of want to like drag him over here and kind of stay down underneath this section so that the mantis will just that the dragon mantis will eventually, come on. So yeah, you want to like stay down here, and so you want to stay in this corner. And so if you're lucky, the mantis will do its like landing animation in a specific spot. Why am I? Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta restart, as we can see here. But right here, we're just going to. Okay, come on. We want when you interrupt his movement with the bubble ability, he'll like automatically fly. We want him to like be over here, so we can make him fly with the They can fly with this bubble ability, and then try and like glide down here in order to make him do the landing animation under here. And if he does the landing animation under here, then he'll land and fall down to the kill plane. Okay, yeah. Buggy Boy does not want to cooperate with us today. I thought that he was going to do it first try, and then he didn't. Come on. Come on. No, come on. Sometimes it's easier to restart because I want him to come from like a specific angle, which is not that angle. But I can deal with this because he came more towards the rock. And so if we just like... Please? Come on. Oh, did it work? Okay, it worked. He did it. Thank the God. Okay, 3, 2, 1, time.
Good job, man. That was an amazing run. That game was so fun to watch, and the ending was so intense. I was sitting at the edge of my seat like, is he gonna drop? Is he gonna drop? That was good.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was gonna happen first try. I would have been so happy if it did. We went like 4 minutes over estimate only because of just how much time that was spent doing the tech issues and also just bad RNG the game wanted to give me today. But like, you know, that's fine. I had fun, and I think that's the most important part. But yeah, this is Stonefly. Again, that was like what, 20? That's 20 minutes slower than my PB. My goodness. That just goes to show how this game just does not want to treat you well sometimes. But that is Stonefly. It is on Steam. It is on Nintendo Switch, and that's it. It's not anything else. But you can. There's only 2 people in the world that's in this game: me and a wonderful woman named Roadkill Revenge. And she and I have like shared a good love for this game. We're really excited to be showing this game off at some other marathons as well. And I just hope that we can convince one person, even just one person, to maybe not speedrun the game, at least buy the game if they have the chance. It's like $20. No, it's $30. $30 on Steam, not on sale. So that might be a bit much for some people. So if you prefer to wait on sale, that's perfectly fine. But that is Stonefly. We have one more run to do, and that's Superliminal, a game in which I am not rusty on, and which you will see me do much better than Stonefly here. But thank you to Dream Tour for having me on here once more, and I hope that y'all will enjoy Superliminal when we get that popped up.
Actually, we all that you stay tuned, and thank you all for being here for the very end of the event. Can't wait to come back. See you all soon.